Nova girl. There might not be any coming back from this one, Nova. Might not be any coming back from this one. Greetings, royal family. I'm back. Queen Sugar time. Hope y'all having a fantastic evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time of the day you are watching this. So hopefully you watched the latest episode of Queen Sugar. Let's get into it. So the episode opens. This was heavy, and I might be skipping around because we want to get to the nooks and cranny of this episode. So let's talk about it. So the episode opens up. Aunt Vi is getting ready for. It seems like there's going to be a dinner at her diner, at her restaurant, and she's putting on her makeup, and she's agitated and frustrated, and basically she's saying because she read the book. Remember in the last episode, the ending of the last episode, she read Nova's book. So against Hollywood's wishes. But Aunt Vi is a woman who can think for herself and does what she feels and what she pleases. So anyway, she's getting ready and she's putting on her makeup and she's agitated, she's frustrated. She said, I called Nova 3-4 times and she's gonna have to face me about this, even if I have to go over to the 9th ward to see her. So Aunt Vi is ready. Like, she's ready to confront Nova about what she put about her life, Aunt Vi's life, in this book. Hollywood is there, said, baby, I begged you not to read the book. Come on, we gotta go. So Aunt Vi goes out into the dining area of the restaurant. And what's his name? Jimmy Dean, whatever his name is. Her ex-husband, obviously. So he comes in. And, Aunt Vi's cleaning off the counter, didn't even realize who it was at first. And once she heard his voice and she looked up, she faints. So she faints right into Jimmy Dale's arms, and he puts her on the stool. Hollywood comes out. He doesn't introduce himself. Now, Jimmy, whatever, he doesn't introduce himself. Hollywood's just thinking like, he's a customer and he was gracious enough to, see about Aunt Vi. So he leaves. Aunt Vi comes to. She's wondering what the heck happened. Hollywood says, you got to slow down. And so they end up going to. She leaves. So I guess she leaves the diner because she has to kind of go and process. Because I think at that point she kind of realized what happened, and she's home, and she's trying to process where the heck did he come from? What is he doing? You know what I mean? She hadn't seen him in so long. So why is he showing up? And of course, it's going to bring back memories of the abuse that she endured while she was with him. They talked about that briefly in earlier seasons of the show. So she finally lets Hollywood know, because he notices that she's home acting all weird. She lets him know who he is. And so they have that to deal with. I'm going to be skipping around, like I said, because this was a lot. What happened in the next scene? I know Micah meets up with his girlfriend, or anyway, Micah meets up with his girlfriend, who was not excited about the fact, I think that comes later. She wasn't excited about the fact that he got into that altercation in the previous episode because racial slurs were, shot at him. So he had to defend himself. So he got into an altercation with a group of boys, his friends, and a group of other group of white boys. So she wasn't feeling that. She let him know, what's up with you? Like, you're just acting like you're some thug. That's not what I want. I don't want to see anything happen to you. He apologizes. He says that, he cares about her. He'll never disrespect her. And he cares about what she thinks about, young love, right? Real cute. So I know that Ralph Angel met up with Prosper. That's the old guy's name that I couldn't remember. I thought it was Proctor, but then I was thinking about, Power. Anyway, so Prosper, and Ralph Angel are sitting outside, and Ralph Angel is telling Prosper that, he's upset about Nova writing about Blue not being his biological son in the book. And Prosper says, my daddy wasn't my biological daddy either. You know what I mean? It's just, So see, this is when I think I start to see the purpose or the objective of Nova's book, in spite of all of the chaos and pain and anger and frustration and emotions that it is causing, rightfully so. That's the first time that we see some sort of a breakthrough or, relatability as far as Nova's story or her family's story. You know what I mean? Because Ralph Angel didn't even know that. He's known Prosper for a very long time. He's very close friends with his late father. So Prosper says, the man that raised me ain't my biological dad either. You know what I mean? And it didn't take away from anything. And Ralph Angel's like, for real? You know what I mean? And it kind of made it, like, I guess Ralph Angel started to understand that, this is not just my situation. So I thought that was real interesting. I thought that was real nice for that to be put into the scene. What else happened? Ralph Angel goes out on a date with I don't know the young lady's name, but their kids play together. He met her at a function or a park or wherever he met her. So he decided to be forthcoming with her while they were having lunch and stuff like that and let her know about his past. She's a prosecutor, so she told him, listen, I already know about your past, being a woman with a child, and I have to be careful about who I let around my kids, so I did a background check on you, right? So he wasn't offended by that. She basically said to him, listen, I'm a firm believer in, people are not their past. So she's basically not holding it against him. Great scene. Ralph Angel breathed a sigh of relief, and I think she respected him for telling him this, and he respected her for her telling him that she did a background check. Smart though. Good move. Fast forward. Darla, you see Darla and Ralph Angel. Ralph Angel drops off Blue to Darla, and he's telling her about his little play date. He sits Darla down and tells Darla that Nova wrote about Blue in the book. She's upset, rightfully so. And I thought it was very interesting that she cared more about hurting Ralph Angel's feelings than her own. But I think that's because she loves Ralph Angel so much, and she knew when he found out that Blue wasn't his son, she knew that was going to hurt him. Because remember, previous season, or season 2, I think it was, Darla's parents were the ones that forced her to tell Ralph Angel, right? So she still has love and compassion for him, and I think that's great. I love the way that they're co-parenting. I think it's very important to have love and respect between two parents. Everything remains amicable for the best interest of the child. And then, of course, they loved each other when they were together. They were in love. So, I like seeing how that plays out. So Darla was extremely upset. She was nervous. She was scared. Another breakthrough, ladies and gentlemen. Ralph Angel actually said that he thinks when it's time that they both should sit Blue down and tell him the truth. See, this is I said this before. I said that Blue, in my previous video, I said that Blue should know that Ralph Angel is not his biological father at the appropriate time. And this is breakthrough number 2. You know what I mean? I'm so glad that even though Ralph Angel is pissed at his sister, rightfully so, he understands, like, it's true. Listen, family secrets are terrible. I don't care how you slice it. I don't care if your intention is to protect this person. They're horrible, because at some point, you know what I mean, they're going to surface. The truth cannot stay hidden for long. Some people think that they're going to take certain things to their grave, and maybe. And others, certain things have to surface before you push the dirt. You understand what I'm saying? So I understand Nova's intentions, but I really think the execution was poor. But then again, she knows her family. So sometimes, or she may feel like, I'm not going to sit them down and talk to them about this because they're going to try to stop me. They're going to have this, they're going to have that. But I still feel that she should have tried to explain to them why she's doing this, and what they're doing, what she's doing. Because I don't think that as your family, as your support system, as your flesh and blood, they don't deserve to be blindsided. And everyone is blindsided. And I think that when she gave her sister and her brother Aunt Vi the book, you were trying to do damage control at that point, because you realized, like, oh my God, the book is getting ready to be published in like matter of weeks, days. It's coming out quick. So I think it was a little bit too late, but it's better late than never. Yeah, so Ralph Angel, I actually liked that. Ralph Angel looked Darla in her eyes and said, look, at the right time, I think that we both should sit him down and tell him. And Darla wasn't against that. Darla was not against that. She said, okay. Another scene was when Micah, I think he was at his house or wherever he was. Micah came home. He's with his girlfriend. She goes into the fridge. He's opening mail, and he receives a death threat. And, you know, his girlfriend is just like, what? You know, we got to take this to the police. Micah's like, what are they going to do? So he gives the letter. He meets up with his mom at her office, and he gives her the letter. And she's just trying to remain calm. And because she's a protector. She really is. Like, she's like vicious, and she will go to any lengths to protect her family. Like, she really will, even if she messes up along the way. You know what I mean? She really is a protector. And she just feels so disconnected from Micah, you know, and she just says, like, I don't understand why I can't get through to you lately, you know? And he says, you know, maybe it's because we're two totally different people and we view things differently. This part was heart-wrenching. She opens her drawer and she pulls out letters, pieces of paper. Each piece of paper had death threats on them. So she has been aware that her son has been getting death threats. She kept that from him, right? Understood. And she said, that's the reason why I sent you to Paris for the summer and hired, you know, security. So she just wants Micah to trust her, that she will protect him and she knows what she's doing. And you saw a very, you know, intimate moment between the two of them, and where she was very vulnerable and he was very vulnerable as well. And because they've been kind of a little bit of tension between the two of them prior to him going away for the summer, and even after him coming back, you know what I mean? And even I think he did read the book, and he's not holding anything against her. She seems to think that, but you know, so that was a good moment. So everybody's kind of revealing things. I don't know if you guys caught that. You know what I mean? Like Ralph Angel basically says to Darla, look, we need to let Blue know when it's time. You know, what was the other thing? Oh, Charlie, you know, she revealed to her son about the death threats. And Prosper revealed to Ralph Angel, you know what I mean, that the man that raised him wasn't his biological father either, you know what I mean? So, and he said it didn't change anything. So we're starting to see, I want to say, a slight shift. I mean, not a huge one, a slight shift. Nova, you still are on the hook, girl, because woo! So Jimmy Dale and Hollywood meet up. Hollywood told him, look, bruh, you need to bounce. Did anybody notice Jimmy Dale's face when Hollywood said you need to bounce? David Allen Greer is funny even when he's not trying to be funny, right? Like, he was like, he gave that face like, say what? What you say? It was hilarious. So he basically told him that, look, you know, I'm going to be gracious about it. I know who you are. You understand what I'm trying to say? I don't know what you're doing here, but you need to get to getting. Don't, like, just leave here. I won't have to put these paws on you. I'm not scared of you. You're going to catch these hands. Hollywood, listen. Hollywood is like, look, this is not happening. You know, y'all know Hollywood goes to great lengths to protect his queen, honey. And anything that threatens that, y'all going to catch these hands, okay? So he pays his tab. He leaves. Hollywood thinks that, you know, all right, good. That's the end of him. This man shows up at Aunt Vi's house, at the house. And he's talking to her, and I find it very interesting. I'm saying to myself, Aunt Vi, why would you open that screen door? You're going to let the biggest mosquito in your house. Him. Why? But then going back and watching certain parts of it, it was like when he was speaking to her, she was like under a trance. And it kind of probably mentally took her back to that place where she was afraid and he was able to control her. So I think that's what that was about. I could be wrong. Tell me what you think about that scene. You know what I mean? And she let him in, and of course he's passing his remarks. I found it interesting that he referred to the house as his house. So I'm telling you, things are gonna be revealed this season. So they were talking, and he was being, you know, inappropriate, cocky, arrogant as usual. So Nova shows up, and she's like, "Oh, you know, what are you doing here?" And they start talking, and what did he say? He tapped Aunt Vi on the belly or said something, and she just flipped, like, you know. No, he was getting ready to leave, and he said, "Good seeing you again," or something like that. He said, "Good seeing you again, Nova." And Aunt Vi's like, "What are you talking about, good seeing you?" And she said, "I can explain." So then he's getting ready to leave. He taps her on the stomach or what have you, because Aunt Vi is already upset at that point, because she's wondering, "You're the reason, Nova, that he's here?" Like, that scene was very intense. So she, you know, he puts his hand on her stomach, and she goes off. So Nova goes off. Then Aunt Vi goes off. They're kicking, they're pushing, they're slapping. They're pushing him out the door, down the stairs. As he's getting ready to going out the door, Hollywood runs up. Hollywood, no talking. Hollywood starts throwing punches. He gets him he hooked him, dropped on his back. He started getting on top of him, punching him. Of course, Aunt Vi's like, "No, Hollywood, you're gonna kill him." And Jimmy gets up and says, "You know, I see you still got that, holding on to that anger from 30 years ago. I actually came here to apologize to you. But after all of this, you know, I don't regret nothing." And he said, you was always Ernest's sister or something. Ernest is mouthy, feisty sister, and you was a hot piece of whatever. And he walks off all battered and bruised up and dirty. And I said to myself, "Lord, Nova, run." They go in the house. Aunt Nova is tending to Hollywood's bruised up knuckles. And this scene, I know I'm leaving something else out. Oh, Charlie and the situation with the Landrys or what have you. Before I end this, let me say something about Charlie. Sometimes Charlie does not know when to leave well enough alone, right? And I understand, because she is so like Charlie don't want to hear nothing other than winning and victory. And I think that she better be very careful of how she does this, because I think that she's not in over her head, but I think that with so many secrets, and this being the theme of the show, she may tap into a realm that she may not be ready to handle. But then again, Charlie is so prideful that even if, regardless, she's gonna, like, to save face, she's just gonna go all out. So I'm hoping that whatever it is that's going on with the Landrys and these funds that are being misappropriated and money that's being spent to buy land, I hope Charlie is ready, and I hope she knows what she's doing, because she definitely pissed off a lot of the people in that community when she was protesting against the jail being built. And she won that protest. They didn't build the jail or what have you. And yeah. So that guy, Jacob, why does she have him in her phone as JB? His name is, but why isn't his name Jacob? But what's B? Borderline? Did I miss something in season 3? I told you, season 3, I didn't watch straight through. I skipped through, so there were some things that I missed. But why was Jacob in her phone as JB when he sent her that text? When she walked up into that boardroom, he sent her a text like, you know, "Meet me around back." Anyway, so moving along to the ending of the episode. Man, Nova tries to explain to her Aunt Violet that she met up with Jimmy, and she wanted to get both sides of the story. And, you know, everything that he said pretty much matched up with what Aunt Vi told her already. Right? Is that what she said? So that's why she didn't put him in the book. Now, if that's what she said, if I'm remembering right, isn't that interesting? He didn't lie about anything. Interesting. So maybe he really was there to make amends. But she did say that Nova said that she did not do this. She didn't invite him to come. She didn't do this to cause any drama or anything like that. And it was so emotional watching her stand there like a little child, explaining her actions. And it just shows also the amount of respect and love that she has for Aunt Vi, rightfully so. Listen, I was shook. Aunt Vi ain't even my aunt. And when she started reading the book in the previous episode, I was shook. When she said that she wanted to meet up with Nova, even if she has to go down to the 9th ward, I was scared. So, Aunt Vi is like, she's hearing her. She ain't paying her no attention. She's not even looking at her. She said, sweetie, you've done a lot of things in your day, but this your daddy would definitely be ashamed of. And she told Nova, you're not welcome in this house. Not today, not tomorrow, maybe not even 10 years from now. Don't bring no flowers to my grave. I don't want to know you. Woo! When you started to see that tear drop from Nova's face, I got emotional. And I was just like, first of all, shout out to the darn actors, man. Like, Jesus. They're good actors to evoke such emotion out of the audience member. Anyway, she said, I don't want to know you. She said, don't even bring any flowers to my grave. I don't want to see you around here. I don't want you come knocking on my doorstep. And the way that Nova left, oh my God, that was so hard to watch. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's just so hard to watch. And I just really wish that Nova would have talked to her family, even if they didn't agree, which I'm sure they wouldn't have, right? They wouldn't have agreed with what you were going to put in the book, but why not tell them while you were doing your research? Once you completed the research and before you submitted your rough draft to the publisher, your family should have known, And it's like bittersweet for Nova because she's getting all this notoriety from the New York Times. She was on a panel, like a TV show panel, and one of the guests was saying how she was able to mend a relationship with her mother because she was so, or whoever it was, she could relate to the story. So I think that was Nova's objective, right? To heal. That's her big thing. But I just really think that she should have talked to her family because even though they would not have been happy about it, it would have been less of a blow to them. You know what I mean? And it's like nobody likes to be blindsided. And it's like, Nova, every one of your family members that this is going to affect, they all trusted you and loved you, you know what I mean? And respected you. And yeah, you know what I mean? It's like you're getting all of this public, recognition, and you can't even celebrate this with your family because they're upset with you, rightfully so. So fast forward to the next scene. Now, when Aunt Vi, I'm all over the place, I don't care. When Aunt Vi opened that box and it looked like a picture of her when she was young. And the name, it's like a little name bracelet from the hospital. It says something or other Violet. Was that Aunt Vi baby bracelet? Or did Aunt Vi have a child that we don't know about? I know it sounds crazy, but for some reason, I said this in my last review, I thought that Nova is Aunt Vi's daughter for some reason. I don't know. And why is Jimmy calling that house his house? Because doesn't the story, Aunt Vi told the story that she was with Jimmy Dean or whatever his name is. He was abusive to her and she left him and came to her brother to live with her brother, right? That was the story that Aunt Vi told early season. So what does he mean, his house? So we're going to see next episode, it's going to be some things that Aunt Vi is going to have to come clean about because something ain't right. You know what I mean? And see, this is the problem when you keep all of these family secrets. They don't stay hidden forever. And do I hate Nora? No. Do I think Nora is wrong? Yes and no. I don't think she's wrong for wanting things to come to the surface and wanting her family to heal and wanting to use herself or her experiences as an example to heal other people. But I do think that the first people that should have known what was in that book, especially before Jimmy. Why would you go to Jimmy and say, "Oh, I'm doing research for a book," and you didn't even let Aunt Vi know? That's where you messed up. And it may be working in your favor as far as being on the New York Times, being recognized by them, and you helping people and other people being able to relate to your book and heal from your book. But look at it; it's at the expense of your family, your support system. So Nova, I be trying, Nova. I be trying to understand your point of view, girl, but there's gonna be a lot more landmines that are gonna explode, man. And this is just the surface, you know what I'm saying? And what is it that Aunt Vi is gonna have to come clean about? And when she closed that box, didn't she say, "Not now, Ernest? I can't now, Ernest, not yet," or something? Tell me if y'all caught that. Royal family, if I missed anything, put it in the comments. Let's discuss. Tell me what your thoughts are. What did you think about, Aunt Vi's chilling speech, basically disowning Nova? What do you think is going on with the Landrys and Charlie? Oh, also in next week's episode, you're gonna see. Oh, this is another point I wanted to make before I sign off. You see, Nova's book is causing everybody to think about family secrets and things coming to the surface. Do you remember when Charlie's husband, Wes, whatever his name is, came to her and told her that he had a 12, 13-year-old daughter that she never knew about? Remember that? I think that is what she is going to force him to tell Micah. So you see, it's working, right, Nova? It's working. Nova, I'm rooting for you. I really am. But I just think that you did this real sloppy. You went about it sloppy. Your family should have known. Even if they would have been pissed at you, they would have been prepared for this to come out. So I still don't know what else is in that book. You understand what I'm trying to say? And we're just going to see. But so far, so good. This season is keeping me, tuned in. Royal family, let me know what you think. Let's get down and discuss this episode. This is a little bit longer than I anticipated, but it was so much going on. Shout out to David Alan Grier, right? Like, I'm always used to David Alan Grier being like the funny guy from like In Living Color. He was Reverend Leon Lonnie Love on Martin. And his acting skill, he really gave me like Chester, creepy old man vibe. So he did his job. He did a really good job. And did y'all know that Aunt Vi was in the movie Holiday Heart? Isn't that interesting? And her friend, her transgender friend Hollywood, was the one that always looked after her daughter. And here it is now, she's in Queen Sugar and she's dating a man named Hollywood. Hollywood gave that man the business, royal family. All right, this is getting too long now. So get down in the comments. Tell me what you think. Let's discuss. Keep it respectful as always. You guys tend to generally do. Royal family, I love you for watching. Can't wait to read your comments. Make sure you thumbs up this video. And until next time, peace.